Hi, I'm Tracy Delgado, and today I'm going to be teaching Module 3, Chapter 10, Length, Area, and Volume. And I always start out with a joke. How does a mathematician plow a field? With a protractor. Let's get started with our lesson. The first question is how many mouthfuls are in a gill, how many mouthfuls are in a cup, and how many mouthfuls are in a pint? And if you're like me, you think that is a mouthful in itself. Well, we have our chart over here saying what each thing will represent. So we're supposed to find how many mouthfuls are in a gill. So we do 1 jigger equals 2 mouthfuls. 2 jiggers equals 4 mouthfuls, equals 1 jack. 2 jacks equals 8 mouthfuls equals 1 gill. So 1 gill equals 8 mouthfuls. Our next one, we say 1 gill equals 8 mouthfuls. So 2 gills equals 16 mouthfuls equals 1 cup. So 1 cup is 16 mouthfuls. And then we have 1 cup equals 16 mouthfuls, 2 cups equals 36 mouthfuls, and that equals 1 pint. And as you can see, we are doubling these amounts in each of these problems. And 1 pint equals 36 mouthfuls. In our next part of the question, we're asked to draw a pail. I apologize, this was my best attempt I could make. And this is another chart of what each thing will represent. We're going to see if this bucket will be filled up, overflow, or be just enough. So we're going to start out with our gallon here. And next will be a bottle, quart, pint, cup, a gill, jack, a jigger, and then we have this one little spot right here that we're going to fill in. And when we see that, we see there's 1 spot left open. And when we take all of these things, we're going to subtract it. 512 minus 256 minus 128 minus 64 minus 32 minus 16 minus 8 minus 4 minus 2 gives us 1. So therefore, there's room for 1 more mouthful. And that was a mouthful. Our next question, we're going to find the area and perimeter of these triangles. In this triangle, we have this one is 48 meters, this one's 69 meters, and the base is going to be 82.3 meters. This 41.0 meters, this is the height of our triangles. So to find our area and perimeter, I put a chart here. The area, to find it, is 8 equals 1/2 times the base and the height. In this case, we're going to multiply 1/2 times 82.3 times 41. And that will give us 1,687.15 meters squared. To find our perimeter, we will add A plus B plus C. And so that will give us 48 plus 69 plus 82.3. And so our perimeter is 199.3 meters. Our next triangle, we have 37 here, 88.8, and 96.2. And these are in inches this time. And we're going to do this the exact same way. I have my chart again. We're going to do the same thing. Area equals 1/2 times the base times height. 1/2 times 88.8 times 37 equals 1,642.8 inches squared. To find the perimeter, we're going to do the exact same thing. A plus B plus C, which is these 3 right here, just to add up these numbers. 88.8 plus 37.0 plus 96.2 equals 222 inches. And we have one more here. We have 2.6 centimeters. That's how tall our triangle is. We have 3.1, 8.5, and 6.2. And again, I have my chart here, area and perimeter. Again, we're going to do the same thing. The area is 1/2 times base times height. In this case, it's going to be area equals 1/2 times 6.2 times 2.6. That is our base is 6.2 and the height is 2.6. And that will equal 8.06 centimeters squared. And our perimeter, same thing, A plus B plus C equals, our numbers will be 3.1 plus 8.5 plus 6.2. So our perimeter equals 17.8 centimeters. Okay, and moving right along to number 3, we will calculate the area of the large circle, square, and the smaller circle. Okay, here's our square. And this, we were given the square is going to be 10. So it's 10 times 10. We can square that. The formula for a square is a squared. So we will, was 10 squared equals 100 units squared. That was simple enough. Okay, I have my square and circle here. So now we're going to determine the area of the circle. We have 10 here, so that means the radius of this circle was going to be half of 10, which that gives us 5 units. To determine the area of the circle is pi r squared. So the area is 5 squared, and that equals 25 pi units squared. And now we have our circle and square here, and I've drawn a triangle here. It's 5 and 5 here. And we're doing the Pythagorean theorem. A squared plus b squared equals c squared. So we have 5 squared plus 5 squared equals c squared. That is added up to 25 plus 25 equals 50. That's our c squared. So now when we plug into our formula, 25 plus 25 equals 50. So r equals 50. So the area of this of the larger circle is 50 pi units squared. And the last part, we're supposed to determine the area between the circles. And with this being 50, we have 25 pi units squared over here. So when we subtract the 50 pi units squared minus 25 pi units squared, that gives us 25 pi units squared. So that means they are the same. In our next question, we're going to find the volume of the circular cone, cylinder, and the sphere. And here's our cylinder, sphere, and our circular cone. And to our cone, the volume equals 1/3 times pi r squared, and it's times 2r. We've given 2r on this one, equals 2/3 pi r cubed. Our sphere is volume equals 4/3 pi r cubed. Our cylinder is volume equals 2 pi r cubed. And we're going to divide these. Excuse me about that. The volume of the cone is 2/3 pi r cubed divided by the same thing, 2/3 pi r cubed, and that gives us 1. The volume of the sphere is 4/3 pi r cubed. We're going to divide that by the volume of the cone. It's 2/3 pi r cubed, and that gives us 2. The volume of the cylinder is 2 pi r cubed divided by the volume of the cone. It's 2/3 pi r cubed, and that gives us 3. And we were supposed to find the ratio of this. So our ratio is 1 to 2 to 3, as you can see right here. And our next question, and I see I've messed up here, name these figures and determine the surface areas. So our little drawing here is going to be a right trapezoidal prism, as you can see. We have 26 here, 15, 17, 4, and 12. That was the numbers we were given for this, and they're in centimeters. And when we break it down, here is our bases, and this is our perimeter. And when we do our base is 1/2 times a plus b times h. So this gives us 1/2 times 26 plus 17 times 12. And when you do the adding up of that, adding multiplication is 258 centimeters squared. And when we do the perimeter, we're going to do 26 plus 12 plus 17 plus 15 equals 70 centimeters. And to find the surface area, we do 2b plus ph. So we're going to do 2 times the 258 plus 70 times 4, and that equals 796 centimeters squared. In our next one, we have a right triangular prism. We were given 15, 7, 8, and 17. And our base is 1/2 times 8 times 15, and that gives us 60 meters squared. Our perimeter is 8 plus 7 plus 15, and that equals 40 meters. Our surface area, again, is 2B plus pH. So our surface area is 2 times 60 plus 40 times 7, and that equals 400 meters squared. And last but not least, we're going to find the surface area and volume of the solid. And here's our solid. We have 21 feet here and 8 feet here. And this, when we break it down, here's our cylinder and here's our sphere. And I love the sphere that I picked out here. I like the animation, so it's like a disco ball. Anyway, surface area of the sphere is 4 pi r squared, and the surface area of the cylinder is 2 pi r h. So the surface area is 2 pi r h plus 4 pi r squared. And the surface area will equal 2 pi times 4 times 21 plus 4 pi times 4 squared, and that equals 729 feet squared. And we find the volume is 4/3 pi r cubed plus pi r squared h. Volume equals 4/3 pi times 4 cubed plus pi 4 squared times 21 equals 1,324 feet cubed. And here is our last thing. It's a cone, circle, and a cylinder. As you can see, we were given 6 here, 2 here, and 10 is the height. So we're going to do our surface area is pi r squared plus pi rs plus 2 pi rh. Our surface area is pi times 2 squared plus pi times 2 times 6 plus 2 pi times 2 times 10 equals 176 meters squared. Our volume is pi r squared h plus 1/3 pi times base and height to the second, or h2 we should say. And our r equals 2 meters and our base equals 2 meters. The height 1 is 10 millimeters. So what is the h2, being the height of the cone? Well, we're going to find that out. We do volume equals the square root of 6 squared minus 2 squared, and that is not really equal to, or close to equal to, 5.66 meters. And our volume equals pi times 2 squared times 10 plus 1/3 pi times 2 squared times 5.66, and that will equal 149 meters cubed. And this, I wanted to close with this because at the time of this recording, we're having a very tough time in our country with this virus. And I just pray that everybody is well and obeying what we need to be doing, and count your blessings, name them one by one, count your many blessings, see what God has done. I thank you for listening to my lesson, and I will see you the next time. Bye.